Hello, my name is Venessa Singhroy. I'm an assistant professor at Queensborough Community College. I'll be presenting a study that I conducted over the course of this semester where I examined the relationship between student learning and engagement in an Introductory Statistics course and one that incorporates R programming language. In August 2019, I received a course innovation grant from CUNY's Research Foundation in partnership with the Business Roundtable for proposing to incorporate R programming into the lab component of an Introductory Statistics course. The course has a uniform course outline for all sections taught that stipulates the content and coverage of the topics therein. The statistical software that is used for the lab component of the course is at the instructor's discretion. To the best of my knowledge, no section of this course has used R for the lab component. Excel is most often used by instructors and SPSS to a lesser degree. Another consideration that I had when designing the modified course came from recalling my experiences learning R. I recall that for me it was a steep learning curve, but having had a firm understanding of statistics before my introduction to R made learning the language and its application within my grasp. It occurred to me that my students would not have this advantage. They would be learning statistics while learning R. From my research, the potential hindrance to their learning seemed to be best explained by cognitive load theory. The theory purports that working memory can only hold or process a limited number of elements at a time. Anything in excess of that will not be retained. The steps I took to mitigate cognitive load include presenting lab materials in segments based on characteristics of coding and content. There was time to review and recap between segments. A comparative method or quasi-experimental design was used to determine if the learning outcomes were relatively the same across the two statistics sections. A comparative method is similar to an experiment in design, except it lacks random assignment. In other words, both courses, the traditional and modified, included students that enrolled in that particular section of statistics. The statistical software that was used in the lab component of the course was not disclosed to students prior to the first day of classes. Parallel forms of assessments were administered across both courses throughout the semester in the form of exams, lab projects, and a research paper assignment. To measure course engagement and cognitive load, the short form of the Course Engagement and Disaffection Survey and Cognitive Load Survey were given to students towards the end of the semester. The impact of COVID-19 on the courses could be seen in the transition to an online platform and an increase in student attrition as well as a decrease in student engagement. The transition included a training period and recalibration period which interrupted the flow and continuity of the course. Student attrition and engagement could be explained by pandemic-related issues, such as issues related to health and compounded by socioeconomic issues, such as access to technology and auxiliary resources. Perhaps it could also be explained by the additional cognitive load that is imposed upon them through online learning, as stipulated in Mayer's cognitive theory of multimedia learning. As the semester has not yet concluded at the posting of this presentation, the data collection is not complete. Here I've presented a preliminary analysis of the data that corresponds to the course content before and after the online transition. The midterm exam covered content that was taught prior to the online transition. A two-sample t-test indicated that no statistical difference between the midterm exam scores were noticed between the modified course and the traditional course. This may suggest that the mitigation techniques, cognitive load, were effective. The Cognitive Load Survey and Course Engagement and Disaffection Survey were administered to students within the last 2 weeks after the online transition. Inter-item correlation coefficients suggest that there is a strong association between dimensions of student engagement and cognitive load. I have selected pairs of items collected from each survey in the following table that reflect this strong association. The inter-item correlations, color-coded in blue, appear to indicate that students that endorse high levels of course engagement are better equipped to deal with cognitive load. Interestingly, there is a strong positive association between those that endorsed "this class is stressing me out" and "I found that information critical for understanding key concept was located in many different places," suggesting that an aspect of online instruction is related to student stress. perhaps explained by an increase in the cognitive load due to a characteristic inherent to online instruction. I'd like to acknowledge the following individuals for their support and guidance during this process. Should you wish to contact me about details concerning this study, you can reach me at vsinghroy@qcc.cuny.edu. Thank you for your time and attention today.